Well, death from above would never be complete without my all famous paper cutter choke. And for me, it became synonymous with my victories in competition because I went through like 40 some matches hitting this, and not just 40 some matches, but consecutive matches. I had a streak from purple, from blue through purple, where every submission that I hit was just paper cutter, right? It became known as my black belt move as I got my purple belt, right? So it's just one of those things where when I got into side body, when I could get a lapel underhook from the side body position, my submission rate was so high, right? And I'll go to it in competition when it's given to me, or when nothing else works. So typically, if you see me choke somebody in a paper cutter competition, it's because I've exhausted all of my other attacks, and or they just ignored the position and gave me the submission. But this is like my ultimate go-to. I'm exhausted. I got to submit somebody. It's time to paper cut, right? So I dare to say it's my automatic, but I would definitely say that it is my highest percentage, and I'd be remiss if I didn't share it with you today. So the underhook is the best part of this, right? When I'm in side body, the way that I get to the north-south position to set this up is blocking the hips, right? And it's typically because my opponent is bracing on me, right? And so he's pushing me down, and rather than succumb to his ability to retain guard, I go north-south. When I go north-south, I take my hand and I block the hip, and I block the opposite hip, okay? Now, what I then do is I take the blade of my hip, and I go down, and I go on his face, okay? Now, he is going to determine which one of these underhooks I get. So as I go and I start the blade on his face, well, he's not giving me this side underhook, right? So I start the blade on the face a little bit more and go this way. And then look what he just gave me, right? Where I was blocking the hip, the elbow goes high into his armpit. I then circle around it. Now this is the most important detail. As I circle, my hip stays down and low to the point where it would take his face off. That's how low and how much pressure I put on this. As I blade the hip over,